everyone, today we're going to be going through a first impression and wear test of the new Elf Camo Foundation. I have some thoughts so far. I'm excited for you to see a first impression. I have this on right now, but also how it wears throughout a full day. My best friend's getting married today. We're going to like a lunch for her. I'm gonna be wearing a mask, so this is gonna get the full wear test. So I hope that you will keep on watching. Probably shouldn't be testing out a brand new foundation on this day that I wanted to be very full glam, but here we are. So because we're putting on a powder foundation, I have already put on cream products underneath. So I used the matte poreless putty primer just in the T-zone. And then I put on the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter in 2 just to give it a glow, because I don't know how mattifying this is going to be, but generally powders are. For concealer under my eyes, I used the Shiseido Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Concealer, and this is in 202 Light. And then for cream contour, I used the NYX Wonder Stick. This is a tried and true product for me. And then I used a cream blush. I used the Milani Cheek Kiss in 110 Nude Kiss. So now we're gonna actually get into the foundation. I'm actually super excited. I literally went to Target this morning and picked it up. This is what the packaging looks like. I got the shade 210 Neutral. Based on the packaging, I wasn't too sure like if it would be a good shade match for me, but after actually looking at the product, I think it's gonna work well. So this is what the packaging looks like of the actual product. It's really pretty. This is what the shade looks like. I think this is going to be perfect for me. It probably looks a little bit dark in here, but I know I'm going to be able to make it work. I tend to go a little bit darker with my foundations because I like it to match my shoulders, because I live in Hawaii and usually my shoulders are showing. So it kind of like balances everything out. It comes with a little sponge and a mirror. And I do think I'm going to try to use the sponge first just to tell you guys how the sponge is. We're gonna do a full day wear test today. I'm gonna be wearing a mask for a while. It's actually applying pretty well with the sponge though. There's a lot of coverage though, dang. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna switch from using the sponge. I think in a pinch, the sponge could actually work really well, but I wanna use this Haley's Beauty Brush. So this is really great with powder foundations, and it's great like if you've been wearing a mask to touch up in certain areas. So I'm gonna try to use this now. Ooh, whoa. That was way too much product. Wow. Wow, this looks really good. This is probably one of the best powder foundations upon like initial application, because I think I can usually make powder foundations look pretty good, but it usually takes some finagling. Like this looks really good and it looks really full coverage. I am super impressed by this. I'm not normally a drugstore foundation person. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I have really sensitive skin, so they don't often work for me. So I'm gonna keep you guys updated on that throughout the day. I feel like this could be a product that is super quick. Like if you weren't doing a review, I think this would be like a really quick foundation option. Wow, good. I'm excited. Okay, now I'm gonna look at it in a bigger mirror. Okay, so what I am seeing, I don't know if you can see it, but some is starting to kind of like not pill, but there's some, that might actually be from my brush though. Like I need to clean my brush, but I bet if I take a sponge, I could clean that up a little bit. I'm gonna go back to using that sponge, original sponge, because I don't think I realized that that brush was not that clean. So I think I'm just gonna go over. Yeah, it was definitely the brush. You know when your brush isn't clean, it feels like remnants of like old powder sometimes can come off of it. I think that's what was happening there, because it's not happening anymore. Okay, now I'm gonna use powder products over it just to tell you how those blend out. I know some people would not use setting spray just because this is a first impression and you wanna see how things perform. But for me, I wanna do my makeup how I would actually do it, you know? For me, I would use primers, that's why I used primers. I would use setting spray when I feel necessary. So I think this looks really good. And you could probably go without setting spray before blending things on top, but sometimes with powder foundations, I like to use a setting spray just to really like help it all sink in super well before I put on the rest of my makeup products. So I'm gonna try doing that. This is Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. It's just like a travel size that I got at Nordstrom Rack when I was on Oahu. I really like this setting spray a lot. And then I'm gonna take my sponge and just kind of pat it in just a little bit. Oh yeah, this looks really pretty, you guys. I'm really impressed. You go, Elf. Let's blend some powder products on top of it. So this is the Milani Silky Matte Bronzer in 1. This seems like it's blending on really well. Nothing's looking cakey or anything, because a lot of other powder foundations I've used look very powdery and very cakey. And even before I put on that setting spray, it didn't look that way. And then I'm gonna go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Cheek to Chic Swish and Pop Blusher, Walk of No Shame. Oh, this looks so pretty. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so excited. So I'm gonna use this highlighter. You can't get it anymore, it's discontinued, so I won't share what it is, but I will share some maybe similar ones. This is from the Sephora collection, so I'll share some similar ones, but I wanna look my best, so I wanna use a highlighter that I know I really, really like and will go really well with this makeup look that I'm hoping for. So I am really, really happy with how this looks. I'm super impressed. I honestly, my expectations were not that high. Okay, I'm gonna put on my brow products and do my eyes, and then I'm gonna come back. Okay, that is the final look. I did put more setting spray on just to keep everything in place. I used my Tarte Full Bloom palette. I'm sorry, I keep talking about it. And then I used the Rare Beauty liquid liner. We're gonna have a review on that coming soon. And then followed it up with the Physicians Formula Eye Booster Waterproof. And then this is MAC lipstick in Velvet Teddy. So that is everything. I think this looks really, really pretty. I'm gonna like show you in a fuller natural light. This is natural light that we're in right now, but I'm gonna actually lift this kind of blackout curtain and actually show you. So this is what it looks like in natural lighting. You guys, this is really, really pretty. So we'll have to see how it wears throughout the day. Okay, so I need your expert opinion on foundation. So
expert opinion on foundation.
So I just wore a mask in the grocery store.
And I clearly wear a bunch of it, you guys.
How does the foundation look? What do you think? Be honest.
With the mask?
Yeah, with having the mask on. Like, do you see it rubbed off anywhere?
No, it's holding up very well.
Looks good.
So I'm filming on my new iPhone that I just got. Looking rough, but it's mainly from crying. Wedding, marriage. As you can see, it's really, really wiped off all around here, but that's where I was crying, you know, and even here. But actually, I mean, you can see my texture and stuff there, but overall, it doesn't look that bad. I'm kind of impressed for how well it looks after all of that crying and everything. So I'll have to keep trying this one in different ways, but I do think overall it held up pretty well. I think it was starting to look pretty heavy around hour 5 or so. So if you're going to be going longer than that wearing this foundation, you might want to just like add some more setting spray and kind of like maybe use a sponge. But I'm excited to keep using this one, and I'm especially excited to use it as like more of a setting powder. But I'm really not mad at it. I definitely am excited to wear this again, and I think that this could be a really great option. Maybe just don't wear it if you're going to be doing a lot of crying, which makes sense because it's a powder. Good morning. It's a new day. I am so sorry, but yesterday it definitely was the wrong decision to try to do a wear test on the day of my friend getting married, because
I ended up crying a bunch and was like wiping my eyes and face, you know, tears. So, but I didn't think it was a good enough, you know, wear test and review. So I decided that today I would use it in a different way. So I wore my It Cosmetics CC cream, and I actually took a sponge, went over it with the Camo Powder Foundation, and it looks beautiful, like gorgeous. It's kind of hard to see. I'll take another clip in natural lighting later. It's completely dark outside, so I'm like in front of my vanity mirror, but it is seriously so pretty. So I will do some more check-ins throughout today and show you how this is as just like a setting powder type of product. But just know, I think with a just the powder, it did end up looking kind of heavy by the end of yesterday, even besides the crying. I think you can totally make it work, and I think it was really pretty. I wouldn't wear it if you're gonna wear it for more than 7 hours. Today I'm probably gonna be wearing it for 10, but I'm using it as a setting powder, so I'll just let you guys know how it holds up throughout the day. I'm gonna be teaching with a mask on, so this will definitely be put to the test. I just looked in the mirror. I had a mask on because I went to get a Subway, and then I ate the Subway, and honestly, it still looks perfect. It's looking really good. And like I said, I have the It Cosmetics CC cream under it, which normally does not hold up very well under a mask. So we'll see what having this powder foundation over it does for it. So I just looked at it at the mirror, in the mirror. I think it's starting to come off my nose, understandable with a mask. Some is rubbed off here and here from the strings from the mask, but it still looks really good. It's been on for about 6.5 hours at this point, and I think it looks really good. So, final verdict, I've had this foundation on for about 9.5 hours now. It has really come off here because of the mask and on my nose and over here. Kind of the same thing I noticed yesterday. Pretty much at the 7-hour mark, it kind of starts to decline in how it looks. Once again, this is with a mask though. I think it would probably hold up better without one, but it definitely starts to look heavy at about 7 hours in. So I still think it's a great foundation. I think there are things you could use to prolong it and to touch it up. Definitely it looks its best within the first 6 hours or so. If you enjoyed this video, I hope that you'll subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. It's Haley J Beauty. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I am gonna go home. Bye.